Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Scout's Tarot, where curiosity and the divine align. This is your December 2021 general reading, and for Sun, Moon, Rising, all that jazz. Two things at the start. One, apologies for missing the November 2021 reading. New Year's resolution: do better with time management. And number two, apologies for any background noise, audio, construction sounds, traffic, sirens, all that stuff. I live off a very busy road, so there we go. Learned very quickly there's not really much of a quiet time here. But all right, I digress. Let us slide into your reading for December 2021. So in your previous October reading, Pisces, the overall breakdown was trying to align your purpose with your, like, where you find your purposes. So whether that's in career, in your partnerships, like wherever you find a healthy space where you're allowed to be your authentic self, like embrace your inner child, like energies, things of that nature. That was what you were trying to build towards. That you were focused a lot on like those stable feelings as well, like that financial security, the security you have in your job, things along those lines. Like you were trying to get that, but you were also trying to balance that out with what made you feel like a kid again, for lack of a better phrase. And as you were moving along this journey and you were embracing that kind of energy, you were building up to the star card in October, which the star card is like that Aquarius energy, but it's also like that divine hope, right? The divine inspiration that we have in our lives that allows us to continue to make choices, go to places, have these experiences that align with our divine truth. And so the energy coming out of November, going into December, is leaving that which doesn't serve you. The Six of Swords energy. This is making a choice, right? Swords are about intellect, rationality, communication, the way that we connect with other people using our words. That you may have found yourself in a position where you're like, okay, this job isn't really aligning with my energies anymore. I don't really feel like I get to, I don't know why, but I keep getting this get to be a kid again energy, like to relive or to reimagine your whatever gave you hope and whatever you dreamed about as a kid, that you now have an opportunity. Like you may have the financial stability to support that and to align with that. And now you're making a choice to either emotionally, spiritually, physically leave that space, that partnership, that experience, the job that you do, whatever it is, to find the thing that does align, right? And I think the energy throughout the month of December, the Judgment card energy, this overarching energy, is that you want to take into consideration some of your choices in the past, right? Like the Judgment card is like, resurrection, and it's that clarion call calling you to face your truth, right? In order for you to embody the dream that you had as a child, to align your childlike energies into your current divine journey, you need to stand up, look in the mirror, and face the facts about either the choices that you made, how it affected other people. Were you only making choices for the betterment of yourself and your own security? Like, what was it that you were doing? Like, and to not criticize yourself for it, but to learn from it, right? When we're called to to go to rejoin the divine energies when we passed, that there is, as they say, as someone who has not passed or had a near-death experience, that there's a moment when your life flashes before your eyes and you get to relive some of the, either the entirety of your life and every choice that you made, or some of those pivotal, journey-altering choices. That in this space, you may need to take some time to rethink some of the choices that you may have made that brought you to this space, and not be harsh about it, right? You want to take an observer's point of view versus, carrying the critical inner voice along, where it's like, of course you got to leave because you chose to do yada yada and that affected everybody on your team, or you made this selfish choice in your relationship. Of course you need to walk away from this. Like, that's not a healthy way to go about going into a new to begin a new experience, to start a new journey, which is what this Two of Wands energy represents. So Two of Wands do represent like the beginning of a new journey, right? The start of a trip, the next steps out the door. Now that you know what your passion is, what your ambitions are, you found the thing that allows you to relive some of your childlike dreams, that you found the thing. Now you're ready to start this journey. In order for you to do that, Pisces, you got to consider, process, and let go of some of those critiques that you may have of yourself, that that you've been selfish, or you were harsh with people, you were rude, or whatever it is that you're like, how dare I dream to how dare I try, whatever that inner voice is that may keep you from leaving behind that which doesn't serve you. If you can process that and let it go, you can begin this Two of Wands energy going into January 2022. And this could be like a new opportunity to either travel, right? You mean short distance, long distance. It really just depends on what the opportunity it is itself. It could be a big move. I'm feeling it's more like a smaller move, where it's kind of like this is the first step on your journey to finding your divine purpose. And I feel like you're the type of person, especially water sign, that intuitive connection, especially because Pisces is the final sign in the zodiac, that there is a lot of that rebirth, that death energy, that transformative energy, that if you can let go of that what doesn't serve you, as you're leaving behind, as you're making choices to leave behind emotionally, physically, spiritually, that which doesn't serve you, and leave behind that inner voice, that inner dialogue, like that critical voice that hurts you, that harms you, you'll be able to take your first step on this new path, on this new journey. I mean, that could be a person, like you may be bouncing ideas off another person. But whatever the opportunity is, whether it's to, you get to travel, go on a trip, it might not be job related. You could end up on a trip and meet somebody there, and you're like, oh, well, what do you think of yada, yada, yada? And they're like, oh, I love that idea. I think that's fantastic. And you're like, like you may find yourself in an inspired space. All right, so we're going to ask the Oracle of the Seven Energies deck to give us a bit of clarity with this Six of Swords energy. This energy going from November into December. May my magic spiritually aligned. What advice does the celestial divine have for dear sweet Pisces? You're looking for one card, please. One card, por favor. Okay, come on. We can do it. I know this is hard sometimes to let things go, but once you realize and recognize that, hey, I know what my dream is. I know what my hopes are, and I know what I want. It's just a matter of getting in that boat and pushing off from those shores so you can begin that real journey. But while you're on this boat, use that time, right? Like the river Styx. Wow, that's what just popped in. Like the river Styx, as you're crossing this, crossing this. Crossroads is not the word, but as you cross this river, let's just stick with the Styx. Use that time on that boat to process and handle any of that critical inner voice, inner dialogue stuff. So if you're like, yes, you're right. When I chose to take on that project, I did it for this reason, because I wanted to be blah, 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 blah. Or I said that thing in that relationship because I wanted to make sure that they knew how I felt, and I didn't care enough about how they felt. Like, you don't acknowledge it. Like, yeah, that's right. I did that from a place of hurt, a place of trauma, a place of anger. I see it now, and now I know better for what comes next. Because when you get to those calmer shores, when you get to the other side here, Pisces, like you're leaving this behind so you can get to something that resonates with you more. That you're gonna want to get there in a more healthy energy space. All right, so if we can get one card, please. One card. I only take flippers, ideally not a tosser. All right, let's see what we're working with here, Pisces. Leaving behind that which doesn't serve you anymore can be a challenge. Especially if it's a, you know, leaving that partnership, that relationship has done wonders for you. Maybe you didn't do it the right way, but you're like, hey, I'm not that upset about it. Or maybe you were in a job and you're like, look, the job wasn't, you know, I had like a terrible carbon footprint. It was awful for the planet. But I got this dope ass house, this, you know, shiny new car. I go on all these trips, pre-COVIDs. Like, you may need to also reconcile that kind of energy too, and to be like, you're right, I made some selfish choices, I did it for whatever reason. All right, one card, that was 4. Let's try that one more time. I think that this may be harder for you to deal with than you realize, but that you may have been prepared for. So this pushing back from those shores, the whatever energy, to the I recognize shore, maybe it may be a bumpy ride, as the night bus guy says. All right, this is very interesting. Normally it does not take this long for a single card to pop up with the Oracle of the 7 energies. All right, I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. We get one card for Pisces as they begin this healing journey from the whatever shore to the I recognize shore. That reconciliation. Got to reconcile with yourself, reconcile with those around you, and then reconcile with your past as well. Like, definitely, like, it's not easy to change, but when you see the opportunity and you know what it is that you want to do, you'll see what needs to be let go of, what needs to be handled, what needs to be discussed, what needs to be, you know, processed. That sort of stuff will come easy. It's just a matter of committing to doing it, right? Oh, that's interesting, especially with that Judgment card energy. Oh, okay, there we go. Isn't I just sometimes... The land between. Weren't we just talking about shore to shore? Number 40. 41, 39. Okay, right in between. Let's move this up just a wee bit. You're in a process of change, Pisces. You know that you were called to it and can no longer be who you were, but you aren't sure what the next experience of your life will be. You are in between what was and what could be, in a pupal stage, like during the metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly. That's what I get for trying to make voices. However, you can't just skip the messy parts. See, you gotta do the work. You can't just jump, especially because you had that star card in your previous your October reading. So you know that you know what it is that you're aiming for here, right? You know what it is that, you know, your motivation for leaving what's behind, right? To find the next shore. You can't just skip the messy parts. You have to endure the unknown and uncomfortable as you reinvent yourself, right? The star doesn't necessarily show you the path, but it does show you the light. It shows you where you could end up, but the journey is on you. You got to figure out where and how you're going to get there. You have one foot in the past, even if you're ready to shed that version of yourself and become something new. You must start redefining who you are in the context of your question, right? Do you believe, what do you believe is possible when you get to the next place? Can you explore this stage of your evolution to get to know yourself better? Yeah, right? Like, so you know, like, you want to find a partnership or a project, a place to live that allows you to embrace that childlike energy. That the Sun card was the energy that you got from in the month of October. And to me, for you Pisces, and this might not resonate with everyone, I'm getting I've had this childlike hope, childlike dream of always wanting to be blah blah blah, or being in a partnership that allows me to do yada yada. Whatever that is, you've always had that. You always know that thing is out there, but how you get there is the challenge. And I think with the 6 of Swords energy, you're finally pushing away from your past, But in order to finally get to the other side of that shore, you have to trudge the unknown. You have to figure out and process those choices, and don't criticize yourself for them, but realize that by processing it and recognizing old behaviors and habits, that you're releasing them as you're becoming who you're supposed to be, as you go through this process of rebirth, Pisces. Whew. Yep. The Judgment card asks you to sit back and not sit back, but to to observe the choices and then to answer the call. So when it is time for you to rise up, that you are prepared, right? You know, like you get to the other shore and you're like, yep, I got it, handled, processed. I know the next time I'm delivered a project or an opportunity or a partnership or a place to live, that I'm going to be ready, because I'm going to know not to act like a fool, to not say something, you know, shoot off at the mouth, none of that stuff. Like you're going to know what you're going to know the healthy and responsible way to reply. And that's the point of the land in between, or the land between. It's the point of your Six of Swords energy, to process all that mess. So when you do get to your Two of Wands energy, you're ready. The opportunity that comes up, the moment of inspiration, that first step on your journey, you're like, I got this, y'all. Like, I did the work. All right, let's get our Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle card for dear sweet Pisces with this Judgment energy. I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. What advice do we have for dear sweet Pisces, celestial divine? Ooh. Okay, guys, you know the rules. We shall only take 1, 2 max. It does mean that there's a lot of energy floating around here, especially because it took so long for the Oracle of the 7 Energies card to produce. Okay, well. That was interesting. Normally it like flips over. That was so polite. So we have the Horse King. This is number 42. Isn't it 40, 42? Okay, all right. Wait, I did that last time. This book. Number 42. Oh, that is 14. Nowhere near it. All right. 42, the Horse King. So I'll hold this up a little bit for you there. The Horse King always comes to lend you the power to go the distance. Oh, I love it. Forging ahead, whatever the weather. You will most certainly reach your perfect destination with this noble ally. He lets you know that some person or circumstance brought through synchronicity will certainly appear to help you with your endeavors. Oh yeah, this definitely branches here. So as you're doing this work here, Pisces, as you push through, the Horse King energy is reminding you that the work that you're doing is not going to go unnoticed, right? That there is going to be someone who's going to help you, right? You, right here from the book, you aren't meant to go this part of the journey alone. Two of Wands. I feel like this is going to be a person that either shows up in your life or is part of your life, and then suddenly it's going to be like, hey, Pisces, I thought you were gonna do this thing. And Pisces is like, well, actually, I decided to change it up a little bit. I found that, you know, that kind of activity wasn't really serving me well, or I found this new opportunity, and wow, it's like always what I wanted to do. It's going in that direction. I'm leaning into this energy. And that Two of Wands, that person may be like, oh, funny you say that, because blah, 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 blah. Or they give you some tips or advice. They're like, you know what, make sure like when you go into that new space to like, I don't know, bring cupcakes the first day, something like that, whatever. Probably something a little bit more deeper and robust than cupcakes, but hey, you never know. This is always an important time to delegate authority to others so that they may assist you. Currently, you're magnetic to powerful people who are in a position to help make your dreams come true. Yet the more you align with your star energy here, Pisces, the more you align with that childlike dream that you've had, the more you push towards it, the more you do this kind of work, the Horse King is going to be like, oh, we see, we notice, and someone is going to either approach you, come into your life. It's just going to be an interaction that like just sparks you even more, that allows you to be inspired even more. Oof. That's, I mean, Yes, ma'am. Honestly, this is some workable work energy. And the horse, the horse in like the Chinese zodiac is known for like that vitality, but they're also known for that work, right? Workhorse comes from something. That it is effort, but it's also noble, right? It is honorable. It is an effort that has an impact that reverberates with and for others. And I think by focusing on that aspect, like whatever your childlike dream is, that if you recognize that it also has a positive, okay, all right, one card, please, Super Attractor Oracles, because that was like 3 that I tried to, okay, we're gonna try this one more time. Yeah, this is interesting. Ooh, just tried to adjust my seat, almost lost half the deck, y'all. Okay, Pisces, what is going on with you? Yeah, your energy is very interesting here. The divine spirits are they're vibing with you. I mean, it's a little busy, but I think it's because they're excited. So I think they know that people who know what they want to do when they're a kid, who know like off the bat, they're like, this is it. I want to be a lawyer, astronaut, or whatever. And they actually start moving towards that. And you're like, oh, it's actually happening. But then somehow either veer off or make choices in order to get to that dream that have been either harmful or regrettable, shameful even, that you may need to take that time to, you know, go off on your own a bit, figure out what it is, leave behind those unhealthy emotions and behaviors and habits, and come back to, you know, or at least reach this new opportunity, this new shore that allows you to embody that more sincere, genuine, authentic energy that you had as a child when you said, I wanted to be an astronaut or an actor, lawyer, whatever that dream was here, Pisces. And you guys are dreamer kids. So if your dream was to drive around the world or fly around the world, I guess, and you just haven't been able to get to it, or you did a couple of places, but it's been scattered and you don't really feel good about it, and you like abandoned that one person because you really wanted to do this trip, and like, if that's the kind of energy that's attached to your dream, that's the kind of work you need to process. So to sit back and be like, okay, so why did I do that? Was it really because I wanted to go there, or is it because I actually didn't like the person? Like, what were the reasonings behind these choices? But all right, let's get one card, please, for dear sweet Pisces. May my magic, spiritually aligned. What energy, what advice, what tip do we have for dear sweet Pisces, celestial divine? Okay, all right, guys. Y'all's is all over the place. All right, let's see what we can do here. No, almost. Oh, okay. There we go. So when I merge my desire, is this one card? Yeah. When I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. Somebody else got this card as well throughout the December series. So be sure to check your other big 2, you know, sun, moon, and rising, just to confirm. You never know. But yeah, you are trying to take some aspect of control, but you're doing it from a place of hope and faith, right? That you know, finally, like, yes, this is what I want to be. This is the impact I want to have in the world. This is the type of relationship I want to have. And I know how to find it. I know how to get there. And I just need to release the pain and regret from the past, recognize my behaviors, and when I'm reacting from a negative space versus a healthy space. When you do that, when you find that, that star energy, that star hope, that star dream aligns with the faith that you know you can change and that you can reach that space, you are going to be in a position where it's easy, right? Where you don't have to work or not necessarily work, but you don't have to put in so much effort to get your journey going. You've already taken the first few important steps here, Pisces. You're recognizing behaviors. You're making choices that reflect your values, that align with your childlike dream. And as you're doing that, the universe is going to recognize that energy. It's going to send you that ally to help you figure out what the next step is, what that opportunity could be, where your energy could best be placed so you can continue on this journey. Whew. All right. Took a minute to get to these oracles here, Pisces. So definitely make sure you're taking the time to reflect, because these higher energies, these oracle cards, it's more than just advice. I say advice, but it's more than that. It's that influencing energy that can resonate throughout various moments, as you're exiting November, going into December, as you're moving throughout the month, and as you're heading into January in 2022, that you're taking these energies along with you, processing, recognizing, and healing. So as you go into the new year, you're coming from a healthy emotional space. But all right, Pisces, that does conclude your December 2021 reading. I do hope that resonated. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the new year.